Dr. Netherton, how would one go about learning past life therapy if there was a traditional counselor or preacher, as you mentioned earlier, spiritual counselor? How and where would you do that?
Well, the only place that you can really do it now, because I no longer maintain my teaching establishment. I retired about 6 years ago. It says somewhere in my book. I don't think that people recognize that. But right now I work with Dr. Norman Sheely at Holos Institute. And it's his backing and it's his encouragement that has really when I retired, he called me and said, "Now, Morris, no, you're not retiring." And he said, "You're due here in 3 weeks." And I went, "Norm," and then I showed up. So, but you need to contact Holos University, Holos Institute, and get the scheduled classes and show up. Now, let me add something. If you're going to do this, you need sessions. You need to have at least the basic work done with yourself. And don't fool yourself that you don't need therapy, because you've never tried this therapy. If you do this therapy, you'll find out you do need it. Because it's very difficult to sit in the classroom and go through the experiential parts of this teaching and not get in trouble with it. So sometimes I come early and run private sessions. Sometimes my associates, I would expect the three of you, to start showing up and doing that. And that will make it much easier for you to become certified and competent.
So who are some of your associates?
Let me see. Oh, you mean you. You, Desiree Del Monte, and Chris Kistler?
Yes.
I always want to put in our Chrysler. But the three of you, there are 2 or 3 more in Los Angeles that if you're in that area, you can see them, because they're, and I don't recommend to anyone that I haven't worked with. I mean, I don't open the yellow pages and say, "Oh, look, there's a," so you need, or you can call me. Call me and my number is my home number, so I'll answer the phone probably. If I don't, my wife will. And we'll be glad to try to help you find somebody that knows what they're doing.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience here that does not know anything about past life therapy?
Well, reincarnation has been taught now for over 4,000 years. It's been a part of the major religions of the world, and it has served them well. I mean, if you talk to people in the Hindu faith and in the Catholic faith for the first, 400 years, it has been a good tool for the soul. And all I've done is just expand it into a therapeutic process which really works. Now, you'll find a lot of people doing what they call past life therapy. And if you really want to know about them, call me and I will tell you. Because, as usual, there's a lot of people jump on board when something starts being known. But I've been doing this for 50 years, and I can't tell you that there's a whole lot of people that are doing it that I would recommend. Mainly because it's not traditional and you can't do it in the traditional manner. And if you want to do it, learn what you're doing, know what you're doing, and then practice it.
I've experienced a group regression. But do you have any comments about group regression?
Yeah, don't.
Okay. Why not?
Group regression is Hollywood. There is nothing coming out of a group regression that you're not going to have to take the one individual out of that and work with them later on over there. I mean, twice, and I swore I'd never do it again. Because you cannot interact with a group as a therapist. You cannot get the group isn't in need of therapy. The group is just finding out who they were and where they're coming from. And if that's all you want, then get a competent person and do a regression. It's very easy. But I found my daughter, when she was 4 years old, I did a group regression with the class. And when it was all over with, she told me she was there too. And I thought, wow, because she was sitting with me when I was teaching. But I don't say don't do, I did say, didn't I? I don't say don't do group, but don't expect good therapeutic resolution of patterns and beliefs and trauma on an individual basis in a group setting.
So I'm a client and I decide to come and have a past life regression with you. What is my commitment?
Your commitment is to sit with me in a very nice, comfortable place. We don't have black walls and horned toads on the wall. And to answer my questions and share with me what we both need to know for you to go on with the therapy. And at some point, I will ask you just to lay down and close your eyes, listen to my voice, and answer the first. Give me the first answer that comes to mind. And you promise your commitments to yourself. If you want to come and do one session just to prove reincarnation, please don't. You're never going to prove reincarnation. People who don't believe in it never will. And people who do believe in it don't need any proof. But you need to commit to yourself and to me to stay with it until you've reached resolution. And you will know when you've done that.
And have you worked with any clients who have had addictions?
Oh, everything you work with is an addiction. Depression has got addiction in it. Pain, people become addicted to pain. I've worked with alcoholics, I've worked with drug addicts. I sort of cut my teeth with addicts. I was a Los Angeles County probation officer for 8-9 years. And believe me, that was practically everyone that came through our offices was addicted to something. Yeah. I strongly disapprove or disagree with addiction treatment today. I think it's money-based, and I don't think it's very effective.
And what about soulmates or relationships? How does that play into past life therapy?
That, to me, gets into philosophy and gets into the spiritual structure of that. I'm not too sure if it's all accurate or not. And I don't find there's very much, again, I don't find there's very much therapy in soulmates. And I mean, I worked with people who everybody they met was their soulmate. Well, how many soulmates can you have, especially if they're also abusing you? And these are all things I looked at when I started. I mean, I did everything. I was soulmates. I worked with indigenous tribes in Southern California. It was all very interesting, but it all came back for me down to one-on-one therapeutic process that leads to resolution.